Hi and welcome to Leitrim Daily. My name is Breifne and you're listening to episode 150 of the podcast. It has been a long 6 months to get to this point, and this is the last episode that we'll be publishing in 2019. What a 6-month period for the show. We've gone from just a concept to something that really has taken hold within the communities and up and down the county of Leitrim. Thank you so much to all the support, to everyone who's been on the show, to everyone who's listened to the show, and anyone who has supported the show in any way, shape or form over the last 6 months. We have a lot of exciting things happening in the new year that we'll be bringing to you as that unfolds. But I suppose at this point I have to apologise for our 12 days of Christmas. A lot of people had come in and had conversations with us over the last few weeks. Thank you so much for them for doing that. But as you can probably hear in my voice, I've just been coming over a severe dose of man flu. I'm not quite over it yet, but we are trying to get back up and running here in Leitrim Daily Towers. And today was just a little bit time sensitive, so we wanted to get this out before Diaspora Day tomorrow. And we left it to the last day to get it up, so it'll be as fresh in your minds if you're available tomorrow. And what today's show is about, we will be focusing on self-development, training and coaching opportunities in the county with James Martin in the second part of the show, for the majority of the show. But first, we're going to have a little chat with Sarah Duffy, who is the project coordinator of the Upper Shannon Erne Future Economies project. And they are hosting an event in the Hive tomorrow, Monday the 30th of December, called Diaspora Day. There's also an event on in Cavan in their digital hub and in Longford in their equivalent centre also. But for us Leitrim folk, it's all about the Hive and the opportunities that are here in terms of supports from the local enterprise office and also facilities and resources here in the Hive itself. It's open to anyone, but really it's designed for people who might be home for the Christmas period and maybe in the back of their mind have been thinking about coming back to move here. Maybe they're working in the digital industry where location isn't as important, or are considering setting up their own business. Either way, the Hive has plenty to offer. We've spoken to Colm Kane, the manager here in the Hive, on a previous show, but now let's have a little chat with Sarah about everything that's going to be happening here in the Hive on Diaspora Day. Sarah, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're more than welcome. Can you maybe put into layman's terms what exactly the Upper Shannon Erne Future Economy Project is?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Upper Shannon Erne Future Economy Project is a partnership between 4 local authorities: Leitrim County Council, Longford County Council, Cavan County Council and Roscommon County Council, and Bord na Móna and ESB. So the partnership was formed back in 2013, and the overall aim of the project is to promote economic development within our region. The region that we live in over the last decade really has suffered a lot within job losses and various other factors. So the project was set up really to just stimulate economic growth and to benefit the people that live in the region and make the most of our own natural resources and try and bring tourism into the region as well. Yeah, and since 2013 really the project has just grown and grown, and we work primarily in tourism, food, diaspora and renewable energy. There are 4 key areas that we focus on within the partnership.
Now on the 30th of the month, just before New Year's Eve, you are going to have 3 open days across the region, one of them in the Hive in Carrick and Shannon, 2 in Cavan and Longford as well, in the sister kind of setups like the Hive, the digital hubs. Can you tell us about what's happening in the Hive on the 30th that people can make their way to?
We have an event which we call Diaspora Day, and the idea of the event is to attract workers that are living away. During the economic crisis, we lost a lot of people, to Australia and Dubai, London and even Dublin, and we want to bring them back here. A number of companies here, we hear time and time again that they struggle to find the skill set that's just not in the region. So on the day, you come in, you just have a chat with the local enterprise office about what's available. We'll have a number of job vacancies available in the region, And if, for example, you have an idea where you'd like to come back and work for yourself, you can get a tour of the Hive and Cavan Digital Hub. So you can see the facilities that are available, and we'll see if it appeals to you. And also, if you'd like to grow a company, the local enterprise office will be able to support you with that, and also signpost you to other organisations that are available to you.
So really it's an opportunity for people who might have had this idea in the back of their head, or maybe they're getting to that stage of life where maybe they're, I don't know, in a relationship and they're thinking of settling down, maybe raising kids, and want to do it in the countryside at home, surrounded by family, rather than maybe in a city, whether that's Dublin or Galway or New York or Abu Dhabi or Sydney that you mentioned. What are the attractions to life back here in County Leitrim for people who might be in that situation?
Yeah, that's exactly it. The attractions really is, the number one attraction is better quality of life, lower cost of living, slower pace of life, great sense of community within the county, actually, nice people. Yeah, they would be the main ones that I could think of, yeah.
Well, listen, it sounds like an absolutely fantastic day. We're actually going to come along on the day and meet people, so some of the people who are exhibiting on the day and will be here that people can come in and meet, but also some of the diaspora who are coming in from all over the world. We're going to have a little chat with them and maybe have them on a show in the new year. The very best of luck on the 30th, and I hope it's a resounding success, and hopefully we can fill more of the space here in the Hive and also in Cavan and Longford as well. But people will make the decision that myself and others that we've had on the show over the last 6 months have, to move back to Leitrim and to look to work and set up businesses and bring employment into the region. So thank you for your efforts on that, and the very best of luck with the project.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
This time of year gets very reflective for some people. People start looking at New Year's resolutions, maybe expanding on their existing skill set, giving themselves new skills, new qualifications. And Carrick and Shannon has, over the last decade or so, become a bit of a hub for education and training. And one of the people behind that explosion in the amount of courses that are available here in the county is James Martin of TeamLife Coaching. James, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Breifne. Delighted to be here.
Now, we have crossed paths many times over the last couple of years. I've done a few of your courses, and I suppose it's all helped in terms of getting me and this project, Leitrim Daily, to where it is today. Just your advice along the way and the skill set that came from those coaching courses. And I've done 2 with you, and both of them are happening again in January and February. We're going to talk a little bit more about them in a bit more detail. They are, of course, your life and business coaching qualification, and also your the trainer course. Tell me a bit about your background, and how you came into the whole training and coaching field.
So my background, I was involved in fact, I studied animal nutrition in college, and also studied computer science. And I loved both those careers, even was passionate about agricultural science and animal science. And I did notice that there was a certain love for training and working with people. And I think some of the challenges that I experienced in my early working years propelled me to explore personal development and professional development. And since then, I have been just so passionate about helping people develop themselves, better themselves, become better leaders, become better managers, become better trainers. And of course, now the explosion in coaching the last 10 years, I happen to be a coach. Before, there were many coaches in Ireland, and now we're seeing the coach approach being almost essential in modern day business.
I suppose when it comes to sport, we all think of the coach as the boss, the person who inspires people, who leads people, who trains people beneath them. But there is an argument out there, and I suppose people will say this, and just to play devil's advocate for a moment, but people will say, that's just a waste of money. Sure, I know what I'm doing. What do I need a coach for? What advantages does either bringing a coach into your life to guide you through that, or bringing those skills into your life, what advantages will that give someone, maybe a small business owner or someone in the county who kind of feels like, I'm happy enough with where I am, I make a living, the job is what it is, I have a couple of staff, why would I even want to consider doing that?
I think the first thing is that there's a misconception between what a coach is and the difference between that and mentoring. The old model of support for a business or for a football team or for anybody that was you're looking to develop was to tell them what they should do. And that model is broken. So I've been immersed in, again, more in the business world, in helping people develop and grow a business in the way that works for them. So the coach approach is very much about understanding the business owner and their world, a business team and what they want to achieve, and working with them to achieve their goals in a way that actually works for them. And this is where we're seeing I've been involved in even more in the sport arena quite recently, and probably our main business is working with business owners and business teams. So it's all about growth and development rather than the mentoring, and it's a combination really of coaching and mentoring. So it's asking questions, it's helping people to think on another level, because the growth of a business really is down to the people and the relationships among those people, and coaching helps to remove the awkwardness, helps with mindset, helps people to think at a higher level, and in turn generates much greater income and possibility for that business.
What are the main problems facing businesses in Leitrim at the moment?
I think there's probably, I don't know whether you'd say this, what's the main problems in Leitrim. I think it's more around what are the main challenges that people have in running a business. And for the kind of solopreneur or the business owner, they tend to be doing too much and doing too much of things that they're not good at. A business owner, typically they'll have 3 or 4 things that they really excel in. And so one of the things is they're not building a team quick enough or fast enough. I think maybe the challenges in Leitrim in some ways are different now, in that, say, the Hive here in Carrick and Shannon has been a brilliant resource to help people to come together with great technology, with great broadband, and that's helping to get over a lot of the older challenges where in the countryside you just wouldn't be able to run a business like you can do today. So we're seeing people from Leitrim running international businesses. We're seeing manufacturing companies exporting product abroad. Everything is possible now from Leitrim.
That's great. In terms of a business, that someone who might be listening to this who owns their own business, and I'm just thinking what you touched on there about doing too much, and particularly stuff they're not good at. So some people have a natural ability for, say, for example, let's take social media as a perfect example, or marketing.
Yes.
Everyone thinks they can do social media because they've got a Facebook and a Twitter account, or maybe an Instagram account. And so it's like, well, I can do that. And they do it particularly badly. And it can either be spammy, it can be inconsistent, it can be poor quality images, not putting in the right links. There's a million and one reasons why it can be poor. And yet they refuse, or maybe they don't want to spend the money on getting someone who's good at that to take that off their hands. And that's one example. There are plenty of others, whether it's trying to do their own books when they don't have those particular skills, trying to do any amount of things that just aren't in their skill set. Where does a coach, or where does the skill set you pick up from one of these courses really help people to do that?
I think it's people are they find that they're doing all those things initially because they don't have the cash flow to pay somebody. So that's the first challenge. And in a business, it's like we need to be salespeople. We need to find a way to bring in revenue. And that's one of the primary focuses in the early stages of a business. A lot of people go and they set up a business by renting an office, or setting up, buying stuff to set up, or getting a website to get their business set up. However, a business thrives on income, and when you're in business, you must mean business. So I think in the early stages of coaching or development, we would support them in looking at what are the highest payoff activities that business owner or that business team would benefit from focusing on most in each quarter. And that's where focus goes, energy flows. So we help them to think about, where they can make most progress with the resources they have, and then to look at what are the activities and functions that they can leverage off to other people who are more skilled and in many cases way better than them. So the coaching helps them to take time out, to get space, to look more objectively at their business, and to stop the madness for some people in their business. Because some people, when they're in it, and I have coaches for my own business, because when I'm in it, I can't see it like I can walk into another business and I can see where we can help them quite quickly, versus in my own business, no, I'm too much in it. So I definitely bring in my own resources, and that's where coaching is powerful, because a coach asks great questions and allows us to think on another level. Too many business teams and business owners and even sports managers, they're asking poor quality questions and they're getting poor quality answers. There's a phrase we use in the coaching arena that smart people have great answers, geniuses have great questions. And the big thing is the business owner, is the football team, or is the business team sitting with the right questions, with the right focus on clear, agreed goals?
So this course, to put it in a nutshell, let's talk about the two specific courses, because it's both for people who want to become that coach, but also who just want that skill set of maybe understanding what goes through the mind of the coach. Yeah. So whether you want to coach other people or just improve your own skill set within your own management team, this course is good for you, and I can vouch for that because I've been through it. It's a fantastic couple of days. Let's talk about the first one that's coming up in the first week of January, 4th to the 7th of January in Carrick and Shannon in the Bush Hotel. Tell us a bit about the course.
So that's referred to it as Life and Coaching Blueprint. So it's a 4-day program. First day is very much about how we show up at our best. So really looking at the person, at the individual, focused on their behaviours and their self-care, and also how they think about themselves and their business world. So it's ideal for managers, for leaders, for anybody in career transition that is looking to get clear, get focused, and get moving with greater momentum around their career and their development. So that's day one. Day two is very much focused on having those one-to-one conversations, where very much focused on inspiring influence and impact on others. And this is where we're seeing a lot of business owners and business leaders actually doing this program, or anybody that's involved in the development of others, as working on the front line of others, where they're having these crucial conversations, where they're having conversations that is there to bring people with them. They're having conversations to remove any awkwardness that they have among people in their business. And those conversations are very much about helping people move forward, helping people to create awareness and help people to achieve the goals, be it personally or professionally. Day three is about how we help people make their best decisions. So really supporting them around the sat-nav for making those key decisions for 2020. And because of certification, day four is about bringing all these skills together and practical skills around how to have those great conversations, either personally or in the workplace. Of course, you mentioned the certification. This is a QQI level 6 course? Yeah, so these are QQI level 6, so there'd be a particular certification in coaching, and it's very practical. In fact, we would see right across the country now, there's an explosion of demand for coaching, and even anybody that's applying for work right now, they're not just looking at their academic qualifications. They're looking at, does this person fit our team? Will this person be able to work with our team, be able to work with different stakeholders, and be able to be impactful for customers on the front line. That's where the coaching skill sets around listening, around asking open and closed questions, about giving feedback and more elegant feedback, about supporting people around and business around their outcome, and helping people to be accountable to themselves and to others. They are the key tenets of coaching, and that's why it's so powerful, where any employer that sees it on the CV, or a leader that's going for a higher position, then these are the skill sets that make the transition from somebody that works for themselves to somebody that can actually run a team.
In terms of the investment that's required, because these courses aren't cheap either, let's be honest about it, what kind of an investment is required, and are there supports out there? I know when I did it, there was supports there from SkillsNet, would have been the one that I availed of.
Sure.
What are the options there for people maybe, and the circumstances that they might be able to tap into, funds that are there to help them with the investment required?
Yep. So we ran this course 12 months ago, and we would have charged it was an investment of €1,350 per person. We have discounted it down to €900 to support people to be able to do the course and get the real value from it. In terms of additional supports that's out there, SkillNet have been fantastic to support, particularly in the private sector, for anybody that's employed, self-employed, or working in a private business. There are supports out there that could be 10, 20, 30% potentially available to support that that individual to do the course. Also for people that's in career transition, and the Department of Social Protection have a grant that they have made available for people that can take this course and really support them in their career advancement and career development. And there's other supports out there that it's about exploring and seeing what's available. But yeah, a lot of people have benefited massively from government supports, either privately or from other funds.
And of course, if anyone has any questions about that, maybe just contact you directly and see if you can point them in.
Yeah, if they're looking to, just to get the brochure or any details on the courses, they can send me an email at james@teamlifetraining.com, and I'll send all the information to them.
Of course, all that information is available on our website as well. If people want to go to leitrimdaily.com/events, they'll find all the links and all the contact details there. There's a second course. It's happening in February. Tell us a bit about that as well, because that is it's the Train the Trainer course.
Yes. So we've been running, the coaching and the Train the Trainer course for about 10 years now. And it's also a very popular course because training is needed in every arena. And you have okay trainers, you have good trainers, and you have great trainers. And really what we support in the Train the Trainer program is helping people to design great training, to deliver great training, and to evaluate great training. So for anybody that's interested in developing their presentation skills, their confidence in front of a group, anyone that actually wants to impact others, particularly impact a group of people, and to be able to transfer the learning that's in your head to others, then this is a powerful program. And it's so well kind of laid out because it has clear guidelines and structure to help in the design and the flow of the course, as well as showing how to engage and properly support your audience and to enjoy training. Because we have a lot of trainers that we see that never go through these type of programs, and they just do not support the learner in the same way, because we are visual, auditory, read, write and kinesthetic learners. We need to understand the psychology of training, and we're blessed to have trainers now delivering at a very high level in Ireland and all over the world. Like, that's the power of this course. It's not something that you do, it's something that you experience, and it's also something that you have forever when you have your qualification. And again, employers are also seeking out graduates and seeking out employees that have these skills, because they're people skills. And in some ways, I refer to the Train the Trainer and the coaching program as probably two of the best personal development programs out there, because in order to deliver, in front of an audience, there's a way we need to think. There's a way that we also show up in front of an audience. So it's a powerful way to upgrade your confidence, upgrade your certainty, and get one of the best qualifications in Ireland.
And of course, people who have a skill in any kind of walk of life or business or any kind of just ability, this course gives them the opportunity, because I suppose I was fully aware how to make a podcast. It's what I've been doing for the last 6 months. And last month I ran what am I saying last month? It was only a couple of weeks ago. It was the start of this month. We ran a introduction to podcasting course, and that was built on the framework that you would have given us on that course. Now, it took me a couple of years to get from finishing the course to actually delivering that first course. But whether someone wants to actually be that training expert in a particular field, maybe they're skilled in construction or skilled in whatever it might be, that they want to create a training course to share their skills and abilities with others, or whether it's internally in their work that a bunch of training has to be done for new recruits, and people want this skill set where they can position themselves to put their hand up and say, well, I'd like to take on that role. I know the job, and I'd like to now take on the role of actually training the next people and make that career progress. It's a huge asset to people, and having done the course, can't recommend it enough for people.
And it's a huge asset in terms of, anyone that's looking for promotion in an organisation. It's about how you're able to work with people and impact people. That's where the coaching, the training is so powerful. The other thing that we're seeing is that people who have done these programs with us, some people have gone on to be very successfully self-employed as consultants and self-employed as trainers. And if you're looking at how you can build an income and a substantial income quite quickly, there's no better power than working with groups and creating real value programs for groups of people. And then it's much easier in some ways to build an income for yourself locally here in Leitrim or anywhere around the world. Like, everything is possible from these two courses because they're recognized everywhere in the world. That's the beauty about, I've just come back from Florida. I was a trainer there for 12 days. Part of our business, we're looking to expand it internationally. And again, we're going to be using the same skill sets that we use in Ireland, in the UK, and further afield, because the core elements of coaching and training, they are the core basis for everything in leadership and management in a company. It's about listening, asking great questions, giving feedback, accountability, and creating great goals and great outcomes.
As a coach and as a trainer, what motivates you to keep going?
I love it. For me, this is my passion. This is my life's work. I've been involved in coaching and training for about 20 years, been immersed in it now for about 12 years. Every time I'm in front of a group of people doing a train the trainer program or doing a coaching program, I trust people feel my enthusiasm, because this is where I see, I coach corporate teams sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times a week, full days. So I'm in those rooms, I'm in those thinking rooms. I get to experience transformation, in companies that are making 500,000, companies that are making tens of millions. It's no different. All they're looking at is how can we work even better together, and how can we grow ourselves, grow our team, grow our business. So when I see the results at the end of the day, because we get to see them, it's not where we're with the company and we leave. We're actually with them usually on a consistent basis over 12 months or over a number of years. So we get to see the development in the people, and we get to see the growth in their bottom line. And when I see that, and I get emails on a regular basis, I get phone calls on a regular basis to see how the coaching and how the leadership, which is the coaching is the basis for great leadership, how that leadership development is transforming teams, then, there's no greater joy than seeing people succeed.
Of course, one of the things we talked about at the top of the show was about how you're based out of Carrick and Shannon, but it's not just Leitrim people or people living in the county that you serve. You have people now travelling from all over the country and further afield to get their training and to get their experience and their skill upgrades here in Carrick.
Yeah, and in fact, You would have seen yourself firsthand today, Breifne. We met a past client who has done some of the training with us, and they're flying one of their employees. But, they're Irish, but they're bringing them in from London to do this training. And this is where we're blessed we're looking to position Carrick and Shannon and Leitrim as a centre of excellence for training, coaching, and online courses. So part of what we have witnessed over the last 5-10 years is people from all over the country, from Cork, from Kerry, from Northern Ireland, a lot from Dublin, and of course from the west of Ireland, all coming to Carrick and Shannon, spending the 4 days here, loving the whole social side of it, and enjoying the atmosphere where they can come, immerse themselves in the skill sets of coaching and training, and bring that back to their respective careers all over the country, and as we're seeing now, starting to expand it beyond Ireland. I was blessed quite recently to run a coaching program in London. What I loved was I went to Knock Airport, an hour to get there, a quick flight to London, and then deliver the course in Milton Keynes for 4 days and back here. It's like how handy that is when you can be living in Leitrim and actually roll out a program just across the pond. So that's where I believe everything is possible from Leitrim, and I do always have conversations with a friend of mine here in the Hive, and we talk about London wages, Leitrim lifestyle, and that's now becoming a real reality for businesses here. And we're seeing even people based in the Hive, they are actually running operations from the Hive for companies in South America and further afield. So that's what I love about Leitrim now, with the facilities that's here. Everything is possible from here.
And I suppose you're not quite a local, although you are a local. You're here on Leitrim Daily. I'm surprised the microphone hasn't just started burning because it's the yellow and blue that you'll be cheering for if the two teams meet in Park Sean next summer. You're a Roscommon man, but you're only from Keeju at the road.
Yeah, I've grown up about a mile from Kilronan Castle near Keeju, and moved here to Leitrim in 2007.
Yeah.
And so there's always great banter. I really love Carrick and Shannon, and love the banter between Roscommon and Leitrim for sure.
Absolutely. So listen, thank you very much for popping in and telling us all about the courses. Just give us a quick reminder of the dates and how people can get in touch with you to get in on those courses if they're interested.
Yeah, so the upcoming courses, we have the coaching program. It's a 4-day certified coaching program, and that is the 4th to the 7th of January, and then the course in the Train the Trainer is the 3rd to the 7th of February.
And you mentioned the investment for the first course was
the investment for the first course is 900, and for the Train the Trainer is €800. Yeah.
Okay, so but two very good courses, and it really is, that word is key. It's not the cost of the course; it is an investment in your own skills and upskill.
Absolutely.
And it does open your mind to what's possible. That Leitrim isn't a physical border anymore. That the world is out there. That you could maybe do something from here that has an impact and has an income from other parts of the country and the world.
Even if you were to take the Train the Trainer program, an investment of €800, we're seeing many graduates who are now earning that in a day, the investment of that in a day, and some of our trainers is actually making multiples of that in one day. So that's where it might seem a large investment when you're starting out. However, when you start to look at it over the career or lifetime, there's many people earning 6-figure incomes every year from training and coaching, and we're even seeing a lot of business consultants come in and do the coaching program to get the edge, to get their income up to a whole new level.
Yeah, well, again, to go back to my personal experience, I did the course. I did get some support from Skills Net that I mentioned, but I cleared my cost in one training course that I delivered. Now, it took me 2 years to do it, but I did clear.
There's no stopping you now, Breifne.
Well, the full course did clear everything, the cost of the qualification and everything. So, James, thanks for popping in. I hope you have a very nice and peaceful Christmas.
Yes, indeed.
Although around Carrick and Shannon, that can be a difficult task. It gets pretty rowdy here most of the
I feel like a tourist every day in Carrick and Shannon.
No, but that's kind of a good way to live your life.
Yeah,
but thank you so much for dropping in.
Thanks, Breifne.
And that, folks, is all we have time for today. Well, not just today, but also for the entire decade. 2019 has been amazing in terms of the response that we've received here at Leitrim Daily for everything we've put out over the last 6 months. It has been great to chat to you, to hear from you, and to get your feedback in terms of what you want to hear about that's happening inside the county lines here in lovely Leitrim. We'll be back with our regular programming on the 6th of January, and we really look forward to bringing you everything that's going to happen through 2020 on the show over the course of the year. A massive thank you to James Martin and Sarah Duffy for coming in and having a chat with me just before Christmas, and obviously best of luck to Sarah tomorrow with her Diaspora Day event, and her, well, not just her event, but the project's event in Diaspora Day in the Hive. And if you're around at home for the weekend or for the Christmas period and you really are interested in looking at what options are out there for you at home, maybe come along sometime between 12 and 4 tomorrow in the Hive on the Castlecar Road in Carrick and Shannon, and see for yourself if there is something here for you. Other than that, thank you so much for listening to the show today and for the last 6 months. We'll be back on the 6th of January with our regular programming. Talk to you then.